Hey, welcome to Hardcore Sustainable. Today I'm headed over to the Critter Kitchen. The Critters are a sub-community at Dancing Rabbit Eco Village, and they've been building a kitchen in the last few years, and I'm going to get a little tour from Kyle. He's going to explain everything that they've got going on there. They don't use any fossil fuel in their kitchen. They don't use propane, and so they've got it set up in various ways to be much more sustainable. We'll find out how in just a minute.
So this is the Critter Kitchen, and as you maybe know about Dancing Rabbit, the whole of Dancing Rabbit is sort of a framework. We're a town that can hopefully, ideally, sort of contain space for different subcommunities. And so the Critter Collective is one of these subcommunities that I'm part of, and I'm pretty proud of. I think we represent sort of a pretty rugged, rough aesthetic and approach to sustainability. So we've been in existence for several years, but then now finally last year we were able to get our stuff together, or at least more so than in the past, and build this summer kitchen. So like part of the thinking behind this building is that we do a lot of cooking for visitors and workshops and sort of a transient population that comes through DR in the summertime. And so we needed to have the capability of hosting a lot of people, but really only in the warm months. So, as you may know about building, it's a lot easier and cheaper to build a building without walls that's not tight than it is to build a structure that's winter worthy and that you can heat and cool. And so we had this general idea that we wanted to have a roof and we wanted to have shade and keep the rain off of us when it's the summertime. But that's sort of what has inspired the general building plan. So one of the things that I do love about Dancing Rabbit is that different subcommunities and different people can explore sustainability however they want to. And so like there are some people who have propane stoves and or electric heat or whatever, but like with the Critters, I'm proud to say that we are fossil fuel free for cooking or for anything else. And the other thing about the Critters is that we aren't renowned for being like wealthy, having a lot of material wealth, and so we wanted to try to build something that was that we could pay for it as much with our time as with anything else. And so we used a lot of reclaimed material, and we used a lot of material that we could cut down and work with, process ourselves, and not have to pay for. And so as you sort of like look around the kitchen, there are some plastic skylights in the roof to let light in up to that like second story up there. And so we had to pay for those. We bought those, and we bought fasteners. We use a lot of screws and metal hardware in this building. And so we also paid for those lag screws and structural screws. But those were really the two main pieces of materials that we had to pay for that went into this building. Even like the concrete for some of the posts in the ground, we were able to sort of scrounge up that people had left over from their projects. It's sort of a pole barn, essentially. And so there's like 12 posts that make up the main central part of the structure. And then there's this awning that also has these posts in the ground. And so like all of those we either just found around here, or most of them we cut down. And the black locust from nearby Sandhill Farm They have a lot of timber over there. So we did a work trade with them. So we harvested some of their timbers, and then in exchange we helped with their sorghum harvest. The sheet metal for the roof, you can tell, or maybe you can't tell, hopefully the lighting's bad enough, you can't see how ugly it is, but that was secondhand galvanized roofing metal that we tore down from a nearby flea market, the Dog and Gun. And so that didn't cost anything, and there's some holes in it, but that's the way of it. Like, we like being outside, and you got to take the good with the bad. When we were building this building, because we didn't have to do the insulation or the enclosing, we didn't have to make it tight, we were able to take so many liberties just during construction. And so, like having weird beams that don't really meet the roof, it's pretty janky, but it's very functional. And like I knew I wanted to have this sweeping roof design, and so we found this box elder tree in the timber that was sort of the right shape, and I did use a chainsaw quite a bit in the construction of this building, but we were able to just rip cut this tree and then use it in 2 halves to sandwich on these posts, and that it was just, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, when you don't have to worry about insulation and right angles, and if you have some power tools or expertise and time, it's a lot of fun to build with that organic feel. And so it has been a lot of fun to work on this building.
And we also don't have any local building codes, which allows you to build all this crazy stuff that we do here that's so experimental and creative and organic,
That certainly helps a lot.
Stay tuned, because we'll have more on the design and the sustainable systems of the Critter Kitchen in the next video. If you want to find out more about what the Critters are up to, check out their blog link in the description below. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, Hardcore Sustainable, just click the subscribe button below right now. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And I'll see you next time.